Hello.
Welcome everyone to D6. I, RCM, bring together several friends from across the internet to play on a D&D live stream show.
Woo!
Good to see you all.
Well, you see our pictures at least.
Don't tell people. It's not weird, I swear. Anyways.
Anyway.
Before we get into tonight, we're going to do some quick D6 roll for damage announcements, and then we will jump right into game where we had last left off. So, first and foremost, to those of you who may not know, we have a Twitter. And if you guys are interested in getting as many updates as you can, such as when we are coming out with brand new episodes, or when we're going live, or if you are interested in finding out where our newest podcasts are, then by all means, go ahead and hit us up on Twitter. Speaking of our podcast, this will probably be the second to last time I will be announcing this, but we are also now on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify and Anchor. So if you guys would, or if you guys prefer good old Apple Podcast, then by all means, there will be some links over on the Twitter account. There is always going to be brand new announcements for that. I do apologize if I've been a bit late this past week. I've been extremely busy. Yes. As for other stuff here on Roll for Damage, on Thursdays, my wonderful friend Rogue Uzu has been hosting her first, or I guess second game. It is a World of Darkness game, which involves several friends from not just only Roll for Damage, but also friends from across the D&D community as well. So if you guys are interested, on Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on Thursdays, World of Darkness with Rogue Uzu. And then also at that same time on Fridays is our usual game here for Roll for Damage, which is our main game. And that is the Scales Above, which my friend Nova is the host of. So if you guys are interested, please, by all means, we have something at least every single day for all of you. All right. Next up is our wonderful sponsors, or wonderful sponsor. There's only one, and that is Gamer Subs. I can finally show this cup. Oh. So, in case you guys may not know, our wonderful friends over at Gamer Subs is doing a thing this March, which is brand new cups every single week. This past week, it came out with the Cat Neko Girl design. It's cute. Which actually has two sides.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
So, if you guys are interested in getting yourself some Gamer Subs or even some waifu cups, please head over to gamersubs.gg/Yaroshian, or Shienpai, sorry. That is gamersubs.gg/Shienpai, and if you use the code Shienpai, you'll get 10% off your final order. Okay.
Just wanted to say really quickly, that cup is great for both people who are tits or ass man. Unfortunately, the thigh guys got left out of this design.
Listen, I am in the talks to getting some thigh work done. So
we'll get there. Baby steps. Baby steps.
Yeah, it's a slow thing. We're building the GG community. Listen, we enjoy the thighs too. I got something for everyone. Don't worry. All right.
This was an interesting conversation.
These lovely conversations we have before game.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So that being said, I think that's all the announcements. Let us get into tonight's episode of D6. All right. So, where we had last left off. So our adventurers headed back into Wallenstein in order to go to a monastery, meet up with the Thieves Guild, which Dante is a part of, and then shortly after decided to commence a heist. Even at the even at the advice of the other half of the party members, being Citra and Leodon, to not involve themselves into this situation, decided to go either which way in order to discover more answers as to what was Rov's situation and what was going on with this amulet. In doing so, you guys commenced the heist in the middle of a blizzard, entering the cross house, being frozen cold, finding a weird basement below, as well as Yugoloth, which has considered the Cross family as their masters in exchange for being fed souls. Managing to buy your guys' freedom, per se, you all escaped back to the surface, only to have been met with a mysterious stranger who had subsequently hurt both Gala and Menos. You commenced an attack on this individual who easily overpowered the four of you. Before it could do any more damage, specifically towards Citra, Leodon, in a plea to be left alone, gave the information that this mysterious stranger was looking for, specifically that of the amulet. After promptly leaving, you all managing to slowly recover and gather yourselves, you all head your separate ways and then back to the EHS. There, you exchanged your knowledge and then were also immediately reprimanded by the director, Harleen Kapoor, for your rather salacious act. After licking your wounds, you guys decide to head off and get something to eat, some breakfast. Citra, you were met with Dagex in order to start beginning the understandings of your monastic tradition in the that being interested in the Cobalt Soul. You guys received one more bit of information about your brand new case with a black filer known as the Alchemist, or personally named
Helen Straslani.
Yes, Helen Straslani. I apologize. Sorry. A lot of H's this campaign. After which, you all begin to collect towards the main cafeteria area, sit down with each other, and also have a very prompt conversation over Bura's actions the night beforehand. That is where we had last left off. So, you all slowly begin to corral yourselves together, getting yourselves some food, and sitting down at the table. You do hear the slight pangs of metal and work being done from across with the Uger brothers, as well as some other mysterious sounds that are coming out of the artifice shop. But as far as the general feel of this place right now, it seems like there is this air of preparation, especially for what you guys had known was an oncoming event that will be heading to the EHS and the Adamantine Bastions soon. So, I will leave you guys to do whatever it is you wish to do.
Okay. Alright, so everyone's in the same room.
Yeah, everyone's at the same table right now.
Citra eventually met up with you guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Citra's like carrying a small stack of books as well.
She's doing her best, okay?
Doing some research?
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna have a lot of options to go visit the monastery anytime soon, so I'm taking advantage of what we have here.
I see.
And she just kind of like lifts it on the table and just... I'm not the strongest, but I'm trying.
It's just the heavy sets of the books going...
Yep. I mean, this is what I originally set out to do before all, like, getting arrested and apparently getting the shit kicked out of me.
Alright, let's see.
Well, it's good that you can at least accomplish one of your goals, at least in this situation.
I'm trying anyway.
Accomplishing your goals, eh? That's... I'm glad that you're at least accomplishing your goals.
I appreciate that.
And what about you? What about your goals?
Honor. Regaining my honor. That's my only goal thus far.
Honor? How did you lose it?
Let me stop smoking this. Because I'm seeing an old acquaintance. Are you familiar with the Wukio house in Yemen?
I don't think Citra would, but...
I've never been up near Yemen, but...
Does Dante know?
Actually, Citra and Dante make a history check.
Okay. A whole
18.
4.
Okay. Citra, the name is familiar in one aspect, and that is because your original master is a Yemnan man. He has spoken about the houses before, and their roles as per how they contribute to the country. But the idea of who the Rakuyo house is a little complicated. As for Dante, the history of the Rakuyo house is the one of 4. They all contribute to the main empire, or as per like the main emperor's confidants in these houses. As per these houses, each one contributes one way or another. The Rakuyo house, often emboldened by their reddish colors and the way that they represent the warriors, the guards, the general military force that comes from Yemen. And as per the other houses, each one can contribute to either diplomacy, others are contributing towards the general affiliation of the people, so farmland, as well as port towns and trade. There are things that are left up to the main emperor and empress's distinctions, but the Rakuyo house is specifically that of a strong military force.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. They're the military of Yemen, no?
Yep. And I am, well, was their adopted son.
Oh.
Ooh, so that makes you sort of like a duke, or like a high lord of some kind, huh?
In some aspects. But that doesn't exist anymore since I killed my friend.
You killed him?
You killed your friend.
Rio was his name. And he was not only my friend, but he was also my stepbrother. See, We were supposed to hunt down a dragon, terrorizing the countryside. Rio said it was supposed to be easy. We'll be able to kill it within half a day, and then go back home and smoke some grass. Supposed to be easy. Easy job. When we stepped into that forest, and we stared that dragon in the eyes, we knew that this wasn't going to be an easy job. What took half a day to even try to kill it took a whole day. We kept dodging its attacks, trying to just damage the damn thing. But it just wouldn't budge, no matter how much we tried. And that got me frustrated. Very frustrated. To the point where I just saw red. And started going berserk. I got angry in the past, but it was nothing like this. It was almost like joy when I got angry, and then just started eviscerating it back and forth. Just tearing off his limbs, stabbing with his horns. But by the time I blinked my eyes, my friend Rio was dead. I stabbed him using the dragon's horn. I just froze. I didn't know what to do. But I didn't know whether to say goodbye to him, whether or not I actually go for help. I just froze. Then I remembered something. Throughout my whole life in the house, they told me to control my rage. 'Cause unlike other people in the house, other races, my anger is deadly. And that was the first time I saw my anger kill the person that I spent my whole life with. The only thing I could do at the time was run. Run out of Yemen. Change my last name. And then just explored, and then just traveled. Try and forget the crime that I did. Trying to find some way of redeeming myself. Try and regain my honor. And the only way I can regain that honor is by dying a glorious death in battle. And that fight, the last fight we were in, I lost that chance to redeem it.
Don't take this the wrong way, and I may not understand a lot, but I feel like regaining your honor only through dying sounds a little backwards.
Yeah, maybe to you guys it sounds backwards, but
I'm not judging, I'm just saying I don't quite understand how that works.
It's not for us to judge.
No.
I've never been to Yemnin before, but I respect other cultures and their ways of beliefs and their thinking.
The closest I've ever been to Yimden was my master just talking about it.
I've never learned much about Yemnin, but I've traveled with orcs before, and I wouldn't know if orcs are necessarily common in Yemnin.
They aren't.
He did say he was
I
adopted.
was curious. Yes.
Sweet. They actually, according to my adopted father, he said that someone dropped me at near the house and begged them to take care of me. I don't know why. I don't know why they decided to take in a half orc, but I wouldn't be here if they didn't.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just story's a bit similar to my own, actually. I was adopted too.
You were?
The family of... Well, my parents were humans, but I was raised by all sorts. Dwarves, elves. My old tribe, my nomadic tribe. It's all sorts of people. So I can kind of understand. Would I know of any orc tribes that are near Yemnin?
Not really orc tribes in particular in Yemnin, mainly because their communities are so under the radar. For the sake of the answer, make a history check.
Okay. 11.
11. So, there's not much about orc tribes that you would know of from a country, across the sea. What you do know is that there are legends and secret places within Yimnin that are guarded by the old spirits of yore. These places, or rather these small communities that are hidden by the forests, are well talked about in fairy tale books, mostly. But not in any particular way of saying, like, you would know how well there would be an orc tribe there.
I've only heard stories. But something about your tale struck me as a bit odd.
What's odd?
You said you sort of came to, and your friend was dead.
That's the last I saw of him, yes.
How do you know you did it?
Oh man, Cetra's...
You were fighting the dragon, weren't you?
I was.
Cetra's got a faraway stare, feeling a very hard similarity. Just awkward sip of her water.
If you were fighting the dragon, and he was impaled by a dragon's talon.
Dragon's horn.
Horn.
A dragon's horn.
Dragon's horn.
A dragon's horn.
You don't...
It could have been you, but it could have just as easily been the dragon itself.
You have no memory of actually doing it, right? You just came to, and that's the scene you saw before you.
Yeah. But deep down, I feel like it was my fault.
I mean, I can see where you'd feel that way.
Dante's gonna put his hand on Bruh's shoulder. So this is the deal. You're not allowed to die in a glorious battle until you figure out exactly how your friend died. Because if you're killing yourself for nothing, where's the honor in that? He's gonna slowly slip his hand off his shoulder.
Bra looks down, looks to the side. I wager that's a fair deal.
Yeah.
Fair deal.
You have help.
See, that wasn't so hard, was it?
Yeah,
I kind of like this version where you're not yelling at us.
Yeah, but I did smoke a lot, so I'm feeling much nicer. I feel a bit nicer now.
If it works, it works.
Yeah.
Gotta keep him drugged, then, I see.
I feel like that's not a permanent thing. That could easily be worked on. You let me hold your hand after all once.
I just... To be honest, I was just... afraid.
Afraid of what?
I was... Not, and maybe I still am a little afraid of interacting with people.
Well, I mean, you can take it slowly.
No, it's more line of... I just feel like one of these days, that rage will take hold of me again. And then another group of people that I care about dies by it.
Well, as a little light note, I mean, you could butt heads with Sov and things might not end so badly. I kind of have a similar issue.
I mean, Cedra hasn't killed us yet.
That is a fair point.
I'm trying my best.
I think that issue is less Citra and more the other one.
His name is Sov. You can say his name.
So Sov hasn't killed us
Sov.
yet.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, does that mean we should give Bruh's other half a nickname?
I don't think it's about the same deal.
It's not a split personality. It's just an issue I have, that's all.
I don't even know if it's a split personality. I just know he's there.
Bruh Berserk. Bruh Part 2.
I mean, I know I keep telling you
upgraded form.
He's just like writing down a list of
Bigger, badder, bruh.
Bigger, badder, bruh. Bruh 2.0.
BB Bruh.
The cooler Buddha.
Bruh trigger.
This is Dante
Alright.
just trying to make things lighter.
Yeah. Citra would just kind of look at him like, just with a softer look, like, we've got no room to judge and we don't want to. We're all kind of in our own holes that we're trying to help each other out of. And honestly, if you could already handle Sov, I'm pretty sure we can handle you.
I guess.
I mean, you didn't immediately think I was just some crazy murderer, so why would we treat you different? It'd be totally unfair.
I met a lot of crazy murderers. You don't admit the crazy murder vibe.
Well, I'm kind of in the same boat as you are before I got here. Sov took over one time before being here. I was in a really bad pickle with some really nasty people, and I blacked out, because I'm fairly sure that was Sov, and then I woke up and those pretty nasty people were dead, but I wasn't sure that was me. And that's gonna bug me for a while. Like, my heart's broken over that, because as bad as they were, I don't like the idea of taking anyone's life. It's not right.
If you weren't conscious for it, then that wasn't you.
No, I wasn't.
Well, then you're in the same boat. Until then, until we figure something out.
I guess we are.
In light of this conversation coming to its apex, you are once again met with a familiar face to the group as he begins to approach within the cafeteria hall. Strutting his usual strut is Alois Azure.
Oh boy.
As he finally sits down next to the rest of you. So, have you taken a look into the file I gave you?
Not quite yet.
We're handling some personal stuff real quick. I mean, if we're gonna work as a team, it kinda helps.
Understandable. I recommend giving it a look over tonight, since you'll be heading out first thing in the morning. You cannot believe the meeting I was just in.
You mean about us four?
Yes.
Well, mostly me and.
Oh no, we're all under that magnifying glass.
Okay.
The bad news is that I'm not joining you all for the next mission.
What?
What?
I will be currently indisposed at the moment, as there is something that I need to take care of while we're all away.
Is this because the Yugoloth?
Nothing to do with that in particular, but there are other matters that need to be attending to. In case you may forget, I am in fact running a criminal organization.
Oh, right.
Mm.
Yeah,
Speaking of, do you have some money? I kind of lost it all, like, trying to get us out of finding a Yugoloth, so...
We also kind of need to replace Buddha's sword.
I will make some arrangements.
Yes!
And no, I don't have money.
Damn
It's
it!
not on me. I prefer to keep myself relatively light, you know, in case something bad possibly happening. But consider anything that you could potentially need at the moment satisfied as per rendered services.
Okay, thanks.
That sucks.
We're alive.
As the overall, since I won't be joining you, somebody else will.
Oh.
Ooh, a new friend.
Actually, an acquaintance you've already made. As per the Council's request, as per this mission will be evaluated for further circumstances, your evaluator will be joining you for this mission. As he looks over towards the library, you see now a contemplating and somewhat packing away Haley Luminari.
Her?
She will be joining you for this endeavor.
Huh.
Haley's
Put
gonna
into
be joining us!
Consider this also an experience. She is a very well-practiced hemiomancer, as well as someone who is fairly interested in diplomatic relationships. So, play nice.
Okay.
Hemiomancy?
Blood magic.
That's what I thought you meant.
It's relatively new in Discovery. Ever since the rise of the Adamantine Bastion, she has practiced her entire life in understanding bloodlines by using blood itself. She, being a Lumerian, you can imagine that trying to understand where Lumerian blood left off from the fall of Lumeria some 5,000 years ago, her interest in history cannot be simply understated.
I see. Well, we'll have something in common then, at least.
Dante's complexion is slowly turning into Haley's looks. Haley's joining us! Haley's joining us!
Citra reaches up and pinches his cheek to snap him out of it.
So, that being said, I recommend getting whatever it is you want from any of the people here, and I'll leave the rest up to Haley's guidance. I look forward to figuring out what your evaluation will be.
Me too.
As he slowly gets up, he looks at you, Leodon, before turning away.
Could I insight that look?
He's looking directly at you, and I would say yeah, if it brings you interest.
Leo's just chewing on some food.
Yep.
Just slower chewing.
Sus.
That is a 21.
21?
21? You can get a feeling from the look itself that there is a level of impressed notion that he is expecting you to act as front man in this situation. While his face betrays no emotion in a lot of ways, this time it comes off to you as in a level of expectation higher than the rest of the three. Good luck for turning and then walking out.
Citra leans over to Dante. I really gotta keep Sav under wraps then.
Alright, you can hold my hand.
I'm gonna need it if we get into a pickle.
I've got you, bud.
Because I still don't know how to explain it.
On that note, have you heard from him? You said you couldn't hear him for a while.
No, and I'm still really shocked that I was in control and I still managed to have the wings and the halo.
Isn't that a good thing, though? It means that you're having proper control of your powers.
No, I can tell you it was not it. It just happened. I was scared out of my mind, and so was he, and he was gone, and it happened. And of course it happened right as I got kicked in the face pretty hard by him, and my chest really still hurts. And I don't mean because of my heart. I mean, like, I felt like he stomped on me.
Oh.
Well,
bud.
It's okay.
hopefully I'll be able to aid with any hurts in the upcoming mission that we might accrue.
Oh?
In my time here, as I've been exploring my my magics, I've discovered I have a few healing capabilities.
It's not just me?
Really?
Yes!
Leah will go, and a little hummingbird will flutter out of the ether and land on his shoulder and just sort of look at everybody.
That is so cute.
This guy right here can supply the healing.
Is he kind of like Virgil? He's not like really a bird, but he takes the shape of one?
My magic takes the form of a flock of hummingbirds.
Oh, I know. I just thought it was really cool, but I don't understand how this works on either of you.
I think it's sort of just a subconscious thing for me. The way my magic works, from what I gather, Furbolgs are sort of innately magical.
I'm starting to gather that.
And we have a natural attunement to the wilds and nature, and I suppose my magic just manifested this way.
That's really
I can't
cool.
really explain it, but over the years I've gotten used to using these little guys in the best capabilities I can.
I mean, they've been helping out really good, so...
That's
I was
so
just
cool.
curious as to how it worked, because, you know, your birds are really cool. She's, like, looking at to both Dante and Leo.
Yeah.
They'll sort of just hop down my shoulder and then wander over.
Oh, Citra's just, like, super excited to just interact with a bird right now. It's, like, taking her mind off of the everything that happened.
Is it just...
Yeah, her tail is, like, slowly swaying behind her, just like a happy cat would.
Unfortunately, I'm going to keep Virgil in his little case for right now.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm not pressuring you. I was just asking questions. I'm sorry.
Well, it seems we've got a lot more in common than we initially thought.
Yeah. I'm just still new to the whole hang out with a group thing.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, you didn't have much of a choice, but if you lean into it, it'd probably get a little easier.
Yeah. I bet.
We can help you on the social cues, at least.
And, you know, I might take you up on that offer. Sometimes.
Citra is super happy that he said that. Like, the eyes just lit up a bit.
Wait, Bra's kind of creeping out, like, why are you smiling like that?
Dante's going to lean out and then also smile like Citra.
You guys are creeping me out now. I'm going to my room.
We're just happy.
New friend, new friend,
New friend,
new friend,
new
new
friend,
friend.
new friend.
I think that's what's freaking them out.
They have the same energy.
Positive reinforcement.
Alright. So, as you guys prepare for your mission starting tomorrow morning, is there any particular shops or people that you would like to interact with to start with? And I'll who wants to be grouped together, or who wants to do this individually?
Aside from... Yeah, I was gonna say one individual thing, but the option would be later on. She'd probably be using her flute if anyone wants to chill out.
I've got I want to say 2 individual things. Well, one, I gotta go do my prayers, and 2, I gotta go to figure out if I can make more of these exploding fire tips.
Ooh. Yeah, Citra, I think, asked earlier on to see if she can meet up with Dagex earlier, just to kind of go over the whole idea that she did manage to kind of take control of that power for whatever reason, and I don't know, see if she can get his advice on what might have happened or how to handle it. But otherwise, the other thing that she's planning on doing is to try and calm the nerves, and by that, she's going to be playing her flute if anyone wants to join her for that one.
Dante will probably join her for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Bra looks for cats around the ship.
Keep in mind, Adamantine Bastion is a large landmass.
Kind of like the floating mountains in Avatar. Just bigger.
So
Cool.
Plenty of space for potential
if I was
cats.
to give you a full information, if I was to give you a full information, and I'll send you guys a map of it probably later. Lumeria is initially from the nation of Alernon, and next to the capital, known as Aurario, there is this giant lake that spans for several hundred miles. That is where Lumeria once was.
So an adamantine bastion is that.
Yeah. Where all that landmass basically disappeared off the face of the earth 5,000 years ago.
That's hella cool.
And now is a floating citadel of the world.
Excuse me.
Bless.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thanks.
Well, Well, all the more so that means it's big enough to hold a cat, then.
Oh yeah, no, there are plenty of cats up here.
Remember not to chase them down like some sort of predator.
I'm
Let
not
them
gonna
come
chase
to
them like
you.
I'm a predator. I'm
Let
gonna,
them.
I'm gonna pet them.
You
like-
need to be calm and let them come to you.
Give him a little pss, 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 pss. Give him a little.
Fine.
Okay. Is there anything that Leodon would like to do in this time?
Actually, he'd probably wait for the whole group to be around for what he would want to do. I'm broke.
As we
And
all
I have
are.
no feathers,
Wait, no.
so I can't get.
Daito actually has silver.
Yeah.
That's that's true. You got 6 silver.
But Eloise said that
You're
her
rich.
Eloise said that our needs would be taken care of, though. For the most part.
I don't think my particular needs are going to be taken care of in this instance.
Oh, is this that spell that you're trying to get of the returning?
Yeah.
Damn! Yeah, that's right, I forgot.
That's the one. Yeah, shit, I can't even buy more daggers.
I can give you mine.
Leo would want to go over the black file. And he would also wait for the whole group to be around before he introduces himself to Haley Luminari.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the only thing that the Citra would, again, just kind of talk about is that she doesn't know how she'd be able to handle explaining that to Haley, and how Haley would maybe or maybe not keep that to herself and not go running straight to Kapoor about what the hell she just might have witnessed, so...
We've decided to keep it to ourselves, even in the the file.
Did Daito actually wind up doing that? Not Daito, sorry, Buddha. I am tired.
It's fine, no worries.
It's fine.
No worries.
Alright.
Because none of us actually wrote our paperwork yet. No.
We did.
Don't.
You guys have yet to finish your final report from the Stonemaker mission.
Yeah.
Lest you had already told me you turned it in.
Got it.
It's really dependent on how much information you provide for it, but you guys have 3 days left to turn that over.
Did you need us to actually write
including
that
today.
up, or no?
I'll write it up.
No. Not physically
I
write
was
it
like,
up.
oh my
It's
god, are
just
we doing homework?
In game, how do you what details in your report do you leave in and that you leave out?
I'm
Got
telling you
it.
right now, I'm writing up my whole report, and it's gonna have drawings and everything.
Crayons and all.
Crayons and all, how'd you know? Alright, so that's everyone wants to do?
do?
I'll probably, in my report, the only detail I'll leave out is Citra using her power,
Well,
because...
we've got 2 things we have to leave out. The whole Eloise shooting across, and then also Citra.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant from, like, last night's
No,
events.
no. This is still the
No,
Stonemaker.
that's off mission, which they now know and have gotten a full report because of who you told it to.
We just left.
As for the initial report, is a little bit more
Yeah.
important.
But Dagex already knows and already told and promised Citra off. You guys don't know that, but Dagex already said that he's not going to say anything to Harleen for the time being, so.
Okay, so Dante's probably going to keep it from Harleen as much as he's infatuated with her.
Harleen or Haley?
Sorry, Haley.
Okay.
Citra finds it the most adorable thing because boy oh boy does your conversation goes real weird when you're trying to make the words happen.
Alright, so
Okay, let's go.
to start with, we're gonna deal with equipment as per the situation, as at least 3 of you are of particular interest as to how to solve your equipment issues. Burra, you already had a sword being made, so that can be conversed about. Dante, looking about trying to replicate more of these arrowheads, and then Leodon, you're returning access.
Yes.
the thought does come across to go see a local friend of yours. This one being Gabriel Olivier.
Heads up, I'm about to have a huge storm, so you might hear a loud bang.
Perfectly fine. So, as the three of you head off, and Citra, you go to head off to talk to Dagex, the three of you enter the large workshop that had recently been introduced to the Adamantine Bastion, or the EHS here. As you guys enter, there is a Warforged man, as he is currently staring down the edge of a very long blade, and you can see the little mechanical monocles kind of just pop in and pop out before the other eye opens and sees all of you. Ah, fellow agents, it seems that you have all returned, and safely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about this dude.
Hello, Gabriel. Hope you've been well.
Hello, Agent Leodon. I have been definitely very well. It seems like, due to some progress, I have managed to figure out how to create more magical weapons, as well as assisting you with anything that you might need. Apparently, a Alois Azure had entered with an IOU.
Ah. Well. Great. So, I guess we've all got a couple of things that we need to get taken care of then. I suppose the IOU would that fall under the spell of returning that I was asking about earlier? Or do you still need the eagle feather for that?
Ah, I see. That would not be too complicated. I could prepare some of these for you by tomorrow morning, as I am aware you are about to head out for a mission and are sorely underfunded.
Yep.
Worry not, Leodon. I will have this done in the matter of a night. Of course, I will have to be pulling some extra shifts, but I worry not, for I cannot sleep.
I'm not sure if that's a good I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It is torture.
Oh. Well.
I have no mouth, and I must scream.
Oh my god!
All right. Well, in lieu of that, I have this flaming arrow tip that I need to learn how to replicate. Do you have any knowledge on this? And I'm gonna slowly pass it to him, like with my palm up.
Yeah, and you could feel that as the metal like clinks along with a reddish metal. Ah, I see. An explosive arrowhead. It has been a great deal of time since I've seen one of these. It is not hard to develop. Of course, one has to imagine if you have magical abilities, you'll be able to imbue them in certain technologies like this. This is old world technology, back before the fall of Lemuria. Certainly, I could replicate these, and even apply different certain magical effects to them. However, this will take some time and a bit of research, if you do not mind waiting so.
I don't mind.
Very well. I will look into this a little bit further at a other day. And he returns the arrowhead to you.
Okay.
Ah, and before I forget, Master Burra.
Yep.
Your recent commission for a blade of my making is complete.
Yeah,
And-
give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
And he picks up the blade that he was messing with a bit earlier, making sure that the sword was well and straight. This, I would not consider is a masterwork, but in fact, something that is magically imbued. I have taken both dwarven steel as well as a mixed alloy of mithril in order to provide a bit more strength. And pulling out with what is this long blackened scabbard with a very intricately designed etch along with it. It will be able to strike for something a little bit more precision. And before even putting it in the scabbard, you see this tall wooden stalk next to him, and almost with a simple swipe from left to right. And it's just click.
Bro inspects his sword since he is from the house. It's not enough to just go by his word or his demonstration. He wants to inspect the sword and test the sword himself.
Surely. As he provides it to you, and as your hands reach the handle of the blade, it fits your hand perfectly. And as per the weight of the actual metal, using mithril is not too uncommon with trying to both reinforce and lighten the steel. Dwarvish steel is known for being pretty rugged and heavy, but also very fragile in some ways. So, this is a +1 sword of your choice. So it'll be a long sword for you, I believe. So this is a +1 longsword, and it is considered magical.
Alright, let's see. One sword, +1. Okay, add it in. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty unusual. You did something pretty unusual. But still, seems like it'll be worth it. I gotta give it to you.
Oh, definitely. It is, in fact, what I would consider to be probably better than a dwarven make. And I will say that to anyone who listens. As you can see, there is a Dugar and an Eager looking across the hall.
You are
very upset.
You are a weird thing. Well, either way, thanks for making the sword.
You're welcome, Agent Burr. Either which way, it seems like all of you have had your own personal interest, to which I will be able to provide at a later time. Agent Leodon.
Yes.
Come tomorrow morning. I will have whatever it is you need provided to you by then.
Of course, and thank you so much.
Absolutely. It is always a good time to see your face.
Oh, shucks.
I have a question.
As per you, Agent Dante.
Uh-huh.
As I've noted, I will take a further look into creating more arrowheads for your particular weapon.
Oh, I'm gonna be dangerous.
I hope so.
Also,
I prefer warriors to be quite dangerous. I once was too. And then I was trapped in this body.
Oh, Bud, I'm so sorry.
I'm surprised you didn't take an arrow to the knee.
I believe that would make things a little bit more complicated. But I actually did once.
Was she pretty?
Oh, very pretty. She was the love of my life. And then the fall of Lumeria had happened. And of course, many things in that time have changed. I still deeply care for her.
Aw, I'm sorry, Bud.
It is alright. At least what we had created together is still close by.
Oh, that's sweet. So I have a off-character question. Because I know you need a great bird's feather for Leodon's returning spell. Can a spectral feather from a great bird also work?
Unfortunately, no, because it would dissipate when it disappears.
Damn! Okay, I thought it would help.
Yeah.
We are in a flying landmass.
Oh, maybe I can.
Which is the reason why he was able to assume where to get these kinds of materials. Considering he's been given a probably bottomless check to write.
Blank check, nice.
given the level of the IOU.
Oh.
But, yeah.
Sorry, I thought it'd help and bond with Leodon, but I guess if we got a bottomless check, I'll just leave it to him.
That's okay. We've both got spectral birds. I gave it a thought.
I mean, I would also say Citra, but her wings vanished too.
Alright. Well, it's time for me to go pray.
Alright, so, as Dante heads off to the Church of Sihani, Leodon, you'll be left to reading the black file from the archive.
Yep.
And Bora, you're chasing down cats.
Everyone has a cat, has a pet of their own, but me. I'm going to get my own pet, and I'm going to teach
really...
I'm going to teach it to kill people with blackjacks.
Citra doesn't have a pet.
Solve is a pet.
No, he ain't.
Sob is the pet.
All right,
Okay.
looking around for a cat to train to kill.
I will get to you in a minute. Citra, you go and hunt down a Dagex. I need you to make me an investigation check.
Oh boy. My negative's coming into play today.
Oh yeah.
A whole 9.
You think at the first place that a member of the Cobalt Soul might be the library. Instead of finding a Dagex, you find yourself lost in the archives of the EHS.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Someone left Citra unsupervised, I'm just saying.
Oh God.
It's like looking for your lost child in a grocery store.
Make me a perception check.
Oh, man. Yep. 5. Listen, she had a hard day and had her ribs kicked in.
Yeah, that'll make anyone's day
You're
bad.
surrounded by books.
It's dizzying.
You feel like you are lost in a maze. And even trying to follow directories, or even trying to find any individuals who might be here, it's not stress-inducing.
Yeah, she's just...
It's kind of just dumb how far this is getting. At a certain point, trying your best, you hear the words out of the back of your mind. To your left.
She'd look up for a second, ears perked, like, wait. Sov? You there, buddy?
As the voice dissipates, there's no response.
Rude.
Do you look to your left?
Yeah, she would.
As you look to your left, there is a book. A rather sizable book that comes into view. It doesn't look old, but it's been here for quite a while, as you can tell from the dust buildup on these shelves. And it hasn't been pulled or made use of for quite some
Teacher
time.
would lift her tail and kind of dust it off like a feather duster.
Yeah. As you do, it has this very complex spine for a book. And it is the Codex of the Lost World and many of its eccentricities.
That would catch your eye. she'd very carefully, like, gingerly pull it off the shelf for a second there. Since she's lost, might as well make good of your time.
Yeah. As you pull the book off, the front of the cover is this large blade that almost strikes at the earth and has these very geometric designs that roam across the front of the book. As you fold it open, the first few pages begin to reveal a bit of information on the initial discoveries of old technology and various things about Lemurian history during the time that it was gone. Which you can imagine now that this book might be slightly outdated due to Lumeria and the Adamantine Bastion reappearing in the past 50 years. At a certain chapter, as you begin to kind of just fold over pages, you come across the eccentricities of the gods' weapons. And this sparks a memory, a conversation from yesterday. As you turn over the page, you begin to see the details that are known as the fragments of Prime Evil.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There are many fragments, as well as it detailing the history on where, how the fragments came to be, such as the now solved mystery as to how the goddess of magic had initially died and then reformed, as well as what happened to the pieces of her body. And it seems like whoever was the initial author, or even the several different scholars from all across Earthseheimel, had come together in order to investigate and discover these particular weapons. There are also very detailed art drawings from various individuals trying to remember what they look like, or had even detailed art of what they look like. There is one weapon that does come off as very familiar, as the one that you had seen the night beforehand.
The one that hit her.
It is known as the Arkham Blade.
Oh.
The Arkham Blade, in its time, was initially designed by the 8 great wizards. This blade was developed as a show of peace or force, that if any of these individuals, specifically this article being written by none other than Mordekainen himself at the time, detailed that this blade would be capable of rendering the world in various ways, opening portals to allow wizards to escape from danger, being able to split magical seals should they need to enter a certain place. The Arkham Blade is old, and it was designed in a very particular way that made it seem like it was unfinished metal, but still sharp at its point. It could have been wielded by anyone. Didn't matter what class or who you were. As long as you had the Arkham Blade, you can render the world itself.
Yeah, Citra's feeling like the ghost pains of getting hit by that. Yeah, I think at this point she'd have 2 panic options: to either go straight to the group or to Harleen, because they couldn't quite explain what they saw at first, but now that she's seeing it again, it's like, wait, that's it, that's the thing, that's what we saw, and it hurt a lot. Wait, that's not good. Shit! You know?
Yeah.
So she'd probably, seeing as she's in the library and she vaguely remembers that Harleen's office, so to speak, is above somewhere, she'd be looking for the stairs.
Okay. Make me a... How does one try and find their general sense of direction?
Left hand.
Make an investigation.
Okay. Let's see if she can get better.
Because you've already lost yourself and then you have no perception.
Hey, 18!
There you go!
Nice.
Okay.
It's her determination to go, wait, this is what I saw. Wait, oh, that's not good.
So, as you begin to kind of just clamor throughout the entirety of the library, the passing face of Daggix as he sees you running past. Oh?
She's in a bit of a panic.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll come back later, bye!
No, it's fine.
I just found what hit us, it's not good.
Oh. Okay. As you make your way all the way up to the main general office of Ahalian Kapoor, as she is currently now dealing with a brand new stack of paperwork.
Yeah, and then she remembers everything of not being the favorite people right now, like, oh, great. But this is important, shake it off, you know?
Yeah.
So she'd, like, clear her throat, be like, excuse me, ma'am. You might want to see this.
What is it?
So she'd, like, approach the desk and just kind of turn the book in place in front of her. That's the blade that hit us. That's what we were dealing with yesterday.
The Arkham Blade.
Yeah. And from what I'm gathering, that's bad news.
Not very particularly useful to most people, unless your capacity for magic or...
Oh, his capacity for magic seemed really nasty.
Are you the only other person that knows about this?
I mean, besides the rest of us that got hit by it, I don't think they even realized what it was. We just remembered the basic idea of what it looked like and what it did.
Are you the only person that has found out about this?
Yes. I'm by myself. I kind of got lost in the library again.
We're going to keep this to ourselves for the time being.
Like, just...
Do not tell anyone else. Not even your own teammates right now.
Okay. May I ask why?
By the way, I can
shut up.
automatically turn
Alexa.
off all the lights.
Stop.
Who is this Alexa?
Who is this Alexa?
It's off.
Carlene to her Alexa. Alexa, now is not the time.
Wait, you gotta be careful because I have an Alexa next to my computer.
Oh, okay,
That
sorry.
was-
No, I'm
so
just
well
saying.
timed.
I'm just saying. Like,
Harleen raises the hand. No one should have a fragment of Primeval right now.
Okay.
And if you have a name for it, there will be forces that will desire it. And the less people that know about it, the better.
Oh. I can't remember if we said that it was also, Dante's, family, if we had mentioned that or not. But, like, we didn't know what it was. The rest of us got hit by it, but basically she's the only one that figured out by looking through a book and going, ooh, pretty pictures. So,
Oh, my
You
friends.
guys made a
Yeah.
you guys made a strong assumption that this magical blade could have been a fragment of Primeval.
yeah, Seacher's...
You're the only one that has found out that it's true.
Okay. Okay, so I might have... I didn't say exactly what I found, but Daggix has an idea that I found something interesting, but that's about it. Is that bad?
You will find willful ignorance will probably be a lot more bliss than the trouble it might be worth.
Okay, so...
As she takes the book and she pulls it away from you. We'll keep this to ourselves
Yes, ma'am.
for the time being. As the book closes. Thank you.
No problem. I hope you don't hate us as much as it seemed the other day. But I understand the headache.
You made my job significantly harder.
Yeah, I gathered.
You're dismissed.
Thank you, ma'am.
As you are left with a somewhat now curious but also slightly impressed Harleen Kapoor.
She's like, I think she's okay with me.
Yeah. She's not okay with anybody, really.
No.
She's got that vibe.
Yeah.
As you manage to head out of the office and climbing down the stairways, you see a kind of passive Dagix.
Hi. Sorry about rushing past you. I was actually looking for you, but then I got lost.
I don't know if I should be impressed on whether or not you found something within the library, or if I should be unimpressed that you got lost in it.
It could be both.
Both.
Yeah.
Both?
Both? Yeah, both is
Both.
good.
Both is good.
Citra's very honest. She knows she's not that bright.
Yes. Well then, I'm not going to assume that you read any of the books within the past few hours, but I was wondering if you would join me for a little session. I wanted to check on something in particular that came across my mind recently.
Okay. I mean, I don't think we have anything planned except for we're leaving tomorrow.
Good. Follow me. As he begins to drag you away and...
Drag her
lead you-
away?
Not drag you away, but like kind of beckon you away to a new
I'm
space.
sorry, all I can have is the mental image of him dragging her by her wrist like a kid that got in
Yeah.
trouble.
Alright, so... That being that... Dante!
Time to go do
As-
a prayer. Time to go do a prayer.
Is he actually singing that?
As you're finding yourself within the Temple of Sahani,
Mm-hmm.
you see that the congregation is thin due to it being the daytime, but the usual priests are here, and the usual those who would like to stay out of the daylight are here as well. As you find yourself walking back to that pedestal.
Our lunar lady, please make sure my friends are safe. I know they went through a lot last night. And I know your powers are low, seeing how the moon's just crescent. And also look over Citra. I know she's been going through a lot right now, and I don't know what's going on with Sav. But she's really gonna need it in these next couple missions. There's one more thing. I know you can't show me now, but I saw something in our last vision. I saw something in the distance and I don't know what it was. Was it the thing that attacked us? Is it something we should be worried about? Well, anyways, I know you're not listening right now, but this is probably just practice for later. Alright, prayer out!
Dante, as you begin to get up, I need you to make me a wisdom check.
Wisdom check. Alright, one sec.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, one sec. Wisdom. And 16.
As you get up, you feel weight on your mind. Like it drags you back down to your knees. As you stare up at the large, pearlescent white statue of Sahani. And you feel your vision beginning to wane.
Well, I guess you do have a vision for me, alright.
There is almost as if a cross between you nearly blacking out and still holding on to reality. As you do, it feels like your body is restrained. You begin to feel the pain of the cuts from last night. And then, as your body begins to move around and stare out into the rest of the church, beyond the pews and the corridors, there is that image of something far beyond that field once again, that individual. Not armored, but is this well-looking individual who has several running tattoos across his body. This blanket white hair and these cold green eyes, holding what looks like to be this bladed cane in one hand and a small statuette in the other.
Hassan? Who is that?
It is strange because it's almost like walking towards it, you see double visions, but this one is isolated. And trying to stare and watch even further, getting closer to the figure, almost as if the dynamic range of it turns from having an idea of what it looked like to black and darker, almost as if it's the closing of the aperture on your eye, and it's harder and harder to get the light in.
Come on, who is it?
It is before you can even reach this, do you fall on the ground, and in order to try and get a glimpse of this person again, the vision has ended. This person is not here, and you can see some of the individuals within the church are staring down at you, even coming to help you, to pick you up. Are you okay, child?
Yes, I'm good. I just got a little deep into the vision there, that's all.
So the Dust Mother speaks to you as well?
Yeah, faintly.
Perhaps try again when the full moon rises. But these short visions will often come with answers.
Thanks, I'll keep you that in mind.
Please.
Alright, I think...
As they help you get up onto your feet, as somewhat older, and when it comes to elves, the older they get, the more beautiful they become. Very old. The eyes are washed. The hair is long and silver-like. And the robes of the usual church kind of wane across, much like how the waves come under the moon.
Oh, pretty.
I've been told that before. As helps you get back onto your feet. They return back to their usual congregation, sitting within the pews, and You now having a slight memory of this creature in your mind. Bruh.
Mm-hmm. Cat time. Cat time. Cat time. Cat time.
Make an investigation.
I shall.
I'm so happy for him.
0.
Falling into Docu
God
there
damn
a
it!
bit.
God damn it! God damn it! No! No! No!
You're
No.
good. You're good. You're good.
Can you
I
can you
shall.
let him roll for advantage, please? I really want him to find a cat.
No.
Damn.
No.
Oh, the misery.
Everybody
The,
wants to be my enemy.
The attempt to finding local cats, especially on a floating landmass, is not impossible, but for you, the thoughts of having confided in your friends, dealing with the stress, you also are still recovering from last night's endeavor. You're not short-winded and out of breath, but rather the attempt to try and distract yourself is a little bit more complicated, and unfortunately, there are no local cats that you can hunt down on this dreary day.
I'll try again after the mission. I just want to go home and smoke my grass.
Alright. Last but not least, I'm so sorry.
I felt so bad.
I rolled a 2. I rolled a 2. That's a roll. I rolled a 2, so it happens.
Citra will help you next time.
Mhm.
Leodon.
Yeah.
As you begin to pore over the archived file, you're beginning to kind of get a much better understanding of this individual who had a very magnanimous career throughout their history. Having barely looked over it the last time, this time, you have a lot more details that you can glean off of. So, the individual known as the Alchemist is a former member of the Tharum Scholars. They spent somewhere close to the past 20 to 30 years working in research and development for the Scholar. They were also pretty well known for creating the Arcanite division, which they had to pick out particular individuals in order to create Arknights. They're not born. These are not magically innate individuals, but these are human beings that were chosen in a selection process to become one.
Are they exclusively human?
They are exclusively human, yes.
Hmm.
There's not a lot of details as to how the Arknight program works, but Helen Strauss-Lani is very antiquated with the project itself. Eventually, some years later, before the recent, before the more recent White Raven Festival, she decided to just up and leave and disappear into the night, and has not been heard from since. However, the sightings between Kil'Nor and Kil'Nor Ridge, as well as what is the mountainside of Julnor, which is a combination between the two major ridge towns and then along that mountainside, is how a lot of people have come to know this individual as the Alchemist, as they frequent Kil'Nor pretty often, which is the reason why their sightings have been seen.
Okay. Does it list any notable recent activity?
The most notable recent activity to date is her recent transactions with the Fulcrum Acquisitionists. You're not exactly sure who the Fulcrum Acquisitionists are, but these transactions have included trade in finding particular monsters or magical items. Usually stuff that you would not get on the open market within the cities. So you kind of can gather that whoever she's having transactions with and making deals with and also getting a lot of funding with is these individuals known as the Fulcrum Acquisitionists. And what they are willing to do in order to either receive payment or collect on monsters or these magical technologies is, the long and short of it, an extensive list of people she has experimented on.
And what was the name of the place in between Kil'Nor Ridge, started with a J?
Oh, the Julnor mountainside.
And she was last seen in or around there?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as information goes, she travels to that mountainside, and people don't know where she goes after that, but she comes down to Kil'Nor frequently. And at the end leaves a note of personal behests. Should there be found any particular concoctions, it is to be detained and returned to one Catherine. One Catherine Koratame.
All right.
Okay. And that is everything that you can get out of the black file.
Alrighty.
So, as you finish up your research well within it, and you all begin to prepare for the next day, we will be taking a quick break. 10-minute break. Then we'll jump to Citra's thing, and then the new day will begin.
Woo.
So, that being said, we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. We'll be right back. More information to come. More fun stuff to happen. See you all then.
Yep.
Break time.
Woo!
And we're back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to
What's
D6.
up?
Howdy.
Back from
Hello.
break.
Hello.
All right, so continuing where we had last left off. After you guys are taking care of some personal business around the Adamantine Bastion. This point on, we're moving straight to Citra and Daggett. Excuse my pause. So, Citra, as you are led away deeper within the EHS, specifically the Wallenstein district, you find yourselves a couple floors lower before entering with what looks like to be a wide open room. Seemingly are rows and rows of candles and the thick smells of incense in a center pedestal that is not heavily used, but you can definitely tell when people come here, they find themselves more relaxed.
She's just looking around like, wow. I didn't know this was here.
I asked for it personally sometime after I joined. It was a place where I can ease my mind and meditate.
Huh.
So he begins to enter towards the center of the room. You see as he finally sits down, and you can see him finally fully relaxed as the hood comes off and over. You see the long purplish hair, as well as the inscribed tattoos that run up along the neck up to the cheek, and those very bluish-looking eyes. You can see.
She'll follow along, but as she sits down, it's like she's being very careful, just one hand just over the bruised ribs, like, okay, easier said than done.
It's kind of hard to get used to that.
Used to what?
Pain.
Yeah. I wasn't awake when it happened, but it sure feels bad.
It comes with the job, unfortunately.
Well, I wasn't exactly intending to have this kind of job, but, kind of learned to roll with it.
I found myself here some few years ago. I had a lot of personal interest in discovering certain secrets. I also had a very particular skill in finding individuals when I needed to.
The whole staring thing?
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know what else to call it.
Learning to become observant is a feature in and of itself. And you often spend a long time staring, either out into nothing or trying to find something in particular in a sea of people that can all blend into one singular mass. As the breath exhales, you can tell there is a rhythm to his moves and the way he breathes in and breathes out. I feel like that there are even things about you that I can tell.
You mean soft?
That is one thing in particular. However, I can tell in specific, even beyond all those happy moments that you try to provide to everyone. I can tell that you are not happy.
I mean...
He begins to stare directly at you, just several feet across. It's almost as if it's like splitting you open from the inside out.
She, like, shifts for a minute, but she doesn't back away or anything like that, so instead she just kind of tucks her tail around her legs, just...
You have a particular problem of ignoring your problems, don't you?
Define problems.
It's not uncommon. I feel like once you get down to the basics of how your mind works, you begin to free it just as much as it restrains the body. Even I submit myself to my own cardinal emotions. Anger, happiness, respect. But from my point of view, you do a lot of work to suppress all that.
Well...
Not just out of fear of Sov, but something else.
Well... It's kind of... It's hard to shake that. It was kind of more something I grew up with. I told you where I'm from, and... Well, trying to reverse the stigma that my race deals with, you have to try and show the best of what you are, so that way it helps kind of get rid of it, so... Trying to be less scary, I guess, or be that stereotype they expect you to be. Besides, generally when I'm my happy spirited self, everyone else seems to feel better, so...
But is it worth setting yourself aflame to keep everyone else warm?
Well, I haven't heard it put that way. Oh, it's... The idea of... Like, it's Sav aside, and I know he's attached to those feelings, I don't want to scare people. So... And I feel like showing anything opposite that generally helps people feel more comfortable.
You're doing a lot to make everyone else happy. That is obvious. But I need you to actually start thinking about yourself for a moment. Not about just what you want, but what you feel. In my practice, we do a lot of reflection. We don't withhold our emotions. We're allowed to feel scared. We're allowed to feel angry. We're also allowed to vocalize and distribute those feelings. And they might be negative for all they are worth. But is it more worth it to betray your own self-respect, your own personal values, for the sake of keeping somebody else happy? Because one day there will be somebody that will never be satisfied with what you give them. And if it is the enemy, they will use that to their advantage. And it could kill you.
Oh. But then comes in the other problem. My anger is definitely tied in with Sav. I don't want him to lash out at anybody else. He's helped, but... It's a pretty big wild card, and it's scary to not know how things will turn out with him.
A thought has come to mind. Perhaps it is because you reject those feelings that Sav is what Sav is. That they are born out of those repressed ideas.
Florida said in passing,
He
like a split
gets up.
personality?
Not much of a split personality, but rather you are currently struggling to decide who you are. He begins to start walking around. He grabs one of the candles and you can see each candle has its own colored flame that kind of pass and sprinkle across the entire room as they rise up on their own pedestals. And he picks two up. What looks like to be this very orange and bright flame, and this other one, this blackened candle with what looks like to be a blue flame. And he comes back and he sits down almost close knee to knee in this state. try and breathe and connect yourself, not just only in emotion, but come to terms with the other side of you. The very thing that you are the most afraid of.
Okay. Ow. Sorry, my whole wrist just snapped. Ow.
So, what do you do?
So he's asking her to essentially kind of think about it pretty hard on this one. I'm trying to understand what what he's asking.
Breathe.
Huh. Alright, so she'll nod to him and just kind of take a deep breath in and shut her eyes and just let it out very slowly.
Good. Again.
Okay. And she'll do it again.
Keep going.
At this point, she's just purely listening to his instruction.
As you begin to over and over, the smells of the incense begin to circle around you. And you begin to feel the two heats coming from the candles. On each side of your hands, you can feel the warmth crawl up from your fingertips all the way up to your shoulders. As it begins to reach towards the clavicle, up the neck, and suddenly it hits the back of your mind as you almost begin to blank out. Now one long exhale. All of it.
Okay, and she taking a deep breath again and just shakily at first, then releases the breath.
Now open your mind as you feel something touch the top of your forehead, and suddenly you are thrusted across this boundless black ocean as you fall straight into the room you have frequented here on many different occasions. And that very familiar orange and black figure hobbled over a corner. You see as the head turns and looks at you with that bright orange eye. You don't rush into fear. You don't rush into battle. For the first time, when I sensed its danger, I could not approach. Yet you still stood.
I had to. What happened to you? You were so quiet.
Citra?
Can you hear me? Oh,
Just barely.
sorry. Slight power fluctuation. She's not moving, but She takes a deep breath again just to keep her wits about her, because she's still terrified of being in here. I had to. I had to stand there.
As the head turns and looks away from you, you can almost see as the long clawed hands are kind of just tapping away at the stone and scratching at it. And it makes the same exact sound that you often hear from this creature time and time again. Why did you bring me back? All I was going to do was feel this, to suffer. I cannot sleep. I cannot eat. All I feel is your pain. All I feel is your ignorance. All I feel, everything I feel, everything you reject is mine! And I hate it. I hate living like this! As the body begins to relax once more.
I'm sorry. That's...
What do you do?
She hesitates first before trying to approach it. She wants to try and reach out to him. So she doesn't quite touch him because clearly he's upset. What she's finding, or what she's feeling, is that even here, she can feel that she's actually crying a bit here. And she just kind of drops her hand for a minute and just... I'm sorry. You're right. I keep pushing you back. I'm afraid of you. And I'm gonna work on this. This can't keep going like this. You're a part of me as I'm as much as a part of you.
There is a slight semblance of tensity even at your approach. With this statement, I need you to make a persuasion check.
Okey-day. That is a 9. I get one good roll a day.
The head turns, and you can see there are waterfalls of tears. If you want to fix this, then do what you were supposed to do.
What I was supposed to.
As the head turns back around, kind of just tapping and scratching at the stone once more. And you can hear the voice of Dagex out of the corner of your shoulder. I think I've seen enough. Before your mind pulls back out of the room. This time it's not as suffocating like it was before. But you can suddenly feel the air around you once more that is not as heavy or damp there, but this time the sweet and burning smells of incense return to you. And you can see there is a Dagex sitting across from you, glowing eyes, and you see with what looks like to be the dissipation of energy out of his hands as they fade. That definitely makes things very complicated, doesn't it?
What does? What? You saw that?
My abilities are that of the mind. As the hands raise, you can see the two knives made of psionic energy begin to raise out. It is not uncommon for someone like me to be able to look into one's mind and witness what hides beneath it. It's one of those very rare and particular skills. I wanted to know who Sav was, because words weren't going to explain
No,
it.
not really. That's why I can't say anything to anyone else, because I have a hard enough time explaining it to even just the people with me.
Understandable. I still have more research that needs to be done. By the time you get back, hopefully I'll have more answers to your situation.
Okay.
In the meantime, start focusing on yourself. Just as much as you can focus on others.
The whole...
Consider that the second part of our lesson. As he gets up and begins to walk out the door. Be safe. I would sooner have a pupil than to not have one.
I'll do my best. And she's just kind of like wiping her eyes because she's realized she's also been crying here as well.
She has no judgment over.
Nope. But
Alright.
I was just gonna say, like, she's trying not to look like she'd just been crying her eyes out right before she's about to meet up with the rest, but it's probably gonna seem like it just a little bit.
Fair enough. So, as the rest of you recongregate once more, Leodon has made some interesting discoveries about your next case.
Yeah.
Alright, what are we up against, Leah?
Well, for starters, the area where we're going to be heading to is called, well, the area that the alchemist was last seen around was the Kil'Nor mountainside and Kil'Nor Ridge. Apparently, and other monstery bits, and recently, that is about it, I think.
I remember something about
So,
No, I remember something about Kil'Nor Ridge. It was in one of the
Right,
letters.
that's where she was last seen. So, looks like we're going to be heading there for our next outing.
Hopefully it's not as cold.
Well, it's a mountainside, so
Probably is.
maybe.
Yeah, you might
She
wanna
just hangs her
back
head a
up,
little
Citra.
bit.
With the Quartermain Port and Kil'Nor Ridge, it is more closer towards the ocean side. So, a bit more temperate. You'll probably be facing the sea breeze in comparison to the usual damning temperatures of Killiksmire.
No cold, wintry winds.
Well,
Maybe a chilly oceanside breeze is all we'd be dealing with.
the new outfit should be ready before we leave at least, so just one more residual wiping of the eye.
Mm-hmm.
You alright, Sicha?
No, but I will be eventually.
Okay. I'm gonna go and give her a hug.
She tries not to, the lower lip quibbles for a second there and just hugs him back.
Aww.
You can tell us when you're ready, bud.
I had a lot of coming to terms with myself in that meditation that I had with Dagex. It was a lot.
Hmm.
I guess in the simplest terms is I'm very guilty of hiding most of my other emotions for the sake of everyone else. It's not exactly the healthiest, I guess, so I got called out pretty hard.
Ah.
Like I said, I'll eventually be okay. Just the emotions are pretty raw.
Alright, we'll give you some space then.
You're good.
But it's
you're
good to hear that you're getting through progress.
Yeah, Dagex is actually a lot of help when you give him the chance.
Surprising, actually. I thought he was scary as hell.
Oh no, he was very much day one, but he's not that bad. But I feel like this new mission might help kind of test these pieces of homework I gotta deal with.
Oh, maybe we should go talk to Haley.
You need to work on your speech
Right.
patterns.
I was going to suggest we introduce ourselves before the next mission anyway.
Sorry, Sutra can be blunt sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, last thing of note, we are to return any notable chemicals the alchemists may or may not have to one Catherine Cornatame.
Karnatame. Alright. Where is she?
I don't know.
To be determined.
Alright. We'll ask Haley.
Yes, she might know some other stuff.
Alright, let's go. Haley, let's go talk to Haley. We're gonna go. Well, I'm gonna start the lead by walking over to Haley, because I already know where she at.
Alright, you can see she is well impacted as she begins to open one final box and it's just finally. Pulls it out. It's this large white and red hat that comes out to much like a regular witch's hat. It's just unbelievably
Oh,
large.
that's adorable.
As you approach, she puts it down. Oh, Dante, and also the rest of the Azure Company.
Hello, Haley.
Hi, Haley.
that what we're
Hi, Haley.
Citra just kind of taps him on the back a little harder with her tail, trying to get him to snap out of it.
Haley, so you'll be joining us on our next mission, yeah?
Yes, I will be doing a very thorough examination on your capabilities as well as further examination on your emotional states. As well.
Okay.
As far as sort of roboticness, how would she compare to Gabriel in terms of?
She's not Lumerian, or she's not Warforged.
No.
Ah,
Lumerians are Warforged, but not all Lumerians are Warforged. For the sake of a quick history lesson, during the Lumerian Wars some 50 years ago, there were a lot of bodies and blood that was sacrificed in order to use the Ragnarok project. In doing so, the original king, Roya Centennial v. Lumeria, had transferred the souls out of those bodies into Warforged. Basically, perfect machines for fighting and taking over the world, basically. But after the successful raid of both the king and queen, and as well as the rest of his party, there was a lot of complications of trying to figure out how to get those bodies back, because it is a very extensive and also dangerous magical art form to create physical human bodies as perfect as a Lumerian.
alrighty.
Yeah. And so, her capabilities is, she is a wizard.
A wizard?
Yes, she is a wizard of a Hemiomancy class, or subclass. To give you guys a general scope, she's probably a little bit stronger than you guys. But most of her capacity will be in observation and assisting where necessary or until she is threatened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The majority of the time, her capacity will be in helping gather information and in combat assistance, but that's pretty much it.
Gotcha. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure to make yours. You must be Leodon Farclay.
Correct. Yes. So, as our, I guess, a liaison on this mission, would you happen to know any other details that weren't in the black file?
Due to regulations, we are not allowed to read anything from the black file.
Ah.
It is an explicit permission that was sanctioned by you four and you four alone. However, anything you do tell me, well, that's up for debate. But, more specifically, I am just here to observe.
Right. Okay. So, we're to be headed to the Kil'Nor mountainside. Now, do we have another one of those teleportation things to get there, or are we hoofing it?
If I do remember correctly, we do not. Due to it being under a certain level of construction, also due to recent events in Kil'Nor. But, luckily, we have a couple of friends who is more than willing to take us down from the Adamantine Bastion right to the airship dock.
And those friends are?
let's just say, forced acquaintances of mine.
Oh,
Oh.
Teacher will pretend she understands that.
So, so you'll be with us the whole time, Haley?
Teacher pokes him again, like, keep it together.
Probably not the entire time, but once we start making moves to whatever the target is, I will definitely be there next to all of you.
Got it. Got it.
We have
So,
two.
Leo, who is the
Yep.
person we're supposed to return things to in the file?
Catherine Cornatame.
Do we know a Catherine Cordatame?
You do not. There is it seemed like a personal note from the archives, but it doesn't seemingly give any information as to who this Catherine Kodotame
Not even
is.
Haley would know.
And I'm familiar.
And the file didn't give her location at all?
Just needle
No.
in a
Cool.
haystack. Let's go.
It's probably for the best that whatever you find in these chemicals, you probably hand them off to Alois.
Huh.
All right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow then.
Meet me by the air docks to the south of the Adamantine Bastion, if that assists you in finding it.
Oh, she wants to have a date.
A what now?
As she looks at the rest of you, just happy as she can be. Oddly enough, going straight to danger is not something most people are happy about, but this one is. As the rest of you head out and sleep within your rooms, the night goes off without a hitch, and the new day begins as all of you traverse to the top of the Adamantine Bastion, walking to the southern end where you see what looks like to be several docks, as well as the buildings that lead to the airship port here. Bura, I need you to make a wisdom
You got
saving
it.
throw.
Let's see. Wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Given your fear of heights,
Mm-hmm.
it takes your entire party to pick you up by the legs, the arms, and even just carry you.
I mean, she has
restrained.
old person. She could just drag him along.
Yeah.
I don't want to
You are-
go. I don't want.
I got to go on the mission.
Look over me.
Fine.
Look
Leo,
over me.
it's safe. Leo,
Don't make me cast a spell on you. Just go. It'll be okay.
Bruh, it's fine. Buddy, it's fine. It's fine. Just smoke
I
your
don't want-
grass. It's fine.
It's just like restraining. You wouldn't get it.
I'm using a charge.
All right. Make another wisdom saving throw, and with advantage because
Another.
Oh
Of
my
the-
lord.
Are you okay?
My God,
What
Oh, wait.
the
I
fuck?
see.
are you okay?
No,
the fuck?
he is not.
He got advantage.
Bura, are
Wait,
you
roll one more
okay?
time.
Are you
I'm
okay,
using
Bura?
D&D Beyond. I should be getting better rolls. Shit.
Roll one more
He
time.
got-
You have advantage.
No, I did. I just
Oh,
rolled
okay.
twice.
Oh, he
did.
did
You
have
got
advantage.
No, he rolled another
Oh my
4.
gosh.
He did his advantage already.
Oh, buddy.
So it's a 10.
All right.
Also, quick note: did my hand axes get done in this time?
Yes. They were delivered to your door with what looks like to be this well-made box. So, you are given 2 hand axes. They will return. They are magical, but they do not have any major bonuses. All they do is that they return to your belt as you clip them on. I will send you the information tonight, and basically the magic item is a belt, hooks, and then the hand axes that come off of them. and every time you throw them and they hit something, they will return back to the belt.
Gotcha. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll send you some information about that a little bit later. I have a bunch of pre-made returning weapons already.
One day, Citra will have that on the boomerang. One day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. So, as you guys are, like, slowly bringing a, rather,
Could I just say...
a rather unrestrained version of Burra in their attempts to
Very
avoid the
fussy.
heights.
I mean, she would threaten him with either sleep, suggestion, or hold person if he really needed it.
I am very strong. I could probably just lift him up and pull him along with
Like,
us.
don't waste your spells, honey, don't.
Yeah. You guys making it to what looks like to be this very beautiful airship near this port. And on the side, it reads Airship Magnificent Semblance.
Magnificent semblance.
Yeah. AS Magnificent Semblance.
Does that mean anything to me?
No, it's just
Okay.
a ship name.
Citra's just happy that they're going to be on an airship, but this time, not as prisoners.
Yeah. As you all begin to board the dock, you see a beautifully white-cloaked EHS uniform, specifically designed for a spellcaster, as well as this very large-brimmed white and red hat that looks out and sees, "Oh, glad all of you can make it." Looking
he has
at
a thing
Burra.
about heights.
He's a bit fussy.
Yeah, Citra's back in
I wish
her other outfit now because it's cold.
Dante is turning into a full red color. Like, clothes and all, everything is red.
Citra just looks at him and just waves her hand in front of him like, "Are you okay?" She just reaches up slowly and taps his cheeks just like, "Hello?"
Yeah, sorry. The color
You
changes back.
You feeling okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'm feeling just fine. Nothing's wrong.
Hopefully you're not feeling sick before an actual mission, Agent Dante.
I wouldn't say sick is the
And
question.
looking up to the airship captain. All right, so we're heading down to Kil'Nor. How soon do you think we can be there? You can see he is rather annoyed with this one individual. I can have us down there in about a couple of hours, so sit tight and try not to cause problems.
Citra just smiles and waves at this person.
You can see as they look, and he's just like... As you all begin to board, you can hear the hum of the airship beginning to rumble through as all of you are flown into the sky as you are departing from the Adamantine Bastion. And this is probably the first time where you can kind of see it at a much more reasonable distance rather than a speck in the sky. As all of you are flying directly down towards Wallenstein as the temperature of the air begins to change from colder to warmer, as well as the very polite hums of the air that kind of roll around. A few hours do happen to pass as you find yourselves getting closer and closer towards what looks like the sea edge to the eastern area of Wallenstein. It doesn't take exactly too long by the time you land, as you finally touch ground and you hear the large chains from the bed that holds these airships, so that way they don't just tip over. As they begin to give way with zero slack, you can hear the engines begin to dissipate. We have officially landed in Kil'Nor. Now please leave my ship.
Okay, sir.
Alright, bye.
And you can see as Haley kind of just waves her hand, just very creepily, by the way, like almost dangerous. He's just like, yeah.
Citra just tilts her head at that, doesn't get it, and just keeps going.
As you guys enter the city of Kil'Nor. And not too far off, you can see in the distance, is Quartermain Port. This city is not much like what you have met with Killiksmire. The usual cobblestone roads are made of both cobblestone and mostly dirt. The towns are not, or the buildings don't come off as initially slanted as they have to be when you're building on a mountainside, but these are far more structurally sound. You can definitely smell the sea breeze air here, as it's not too far off to believe.
That makes Citra very happy.
There are several individuals as they begin to walk around here, but you notice that it's not the same kind of style or the same kind of energy as it would be in a capital city. Here, you can see a lot of people are a little downtrodden. And the very few people here that see these random people who come from an airship port want nothing to do with you.
Huh. Well, I mean, at least there's not a lot of guards.
And there are tons of notable
never
guards here. Yeah. Don't get that mistaken. Make an insight check since you're kind of just getting a general scope of the entire thing.
Jesus, 13.
13. It's not hard to see this. People are avoiding the guards.
Oh.
In fact, there are some people who will see a guard walking down the street and they will turn into an alley.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they must have
She'd nudge Leo and Tante. You saw that, right?
Yeah. Seems like the guards are less friendlier here than in Killiksmire.
They were friendly?
Friendlier!
Okay.
I want to observe what the guard's doing.
Make a perception check.
Maybe I won't. Hopefully I won't.
Maybe not a 4 or a 10 this time.
Hey, 19 plus 5.
Hey.
Okay.
24, nice one.
Yeah, boy.
24. You can kind of see that the guards around here are obviously the Crest Guard. The Crest Guards are the general term for those who have service to the greater Volenstan collective. The Crest Guard here almost come off as more threatening. Instead of doing their line of duty here. But since they're so far away from the capital, it almost comes off as if, like, they kind of run the town.
Like they're doing what they want.
Yeah, and the people here fear the repercussions of the Crest Guard. It could also be well and assumed that if there are a Crest Guard here, there is probably an Arcanite.
Arcanite? Arcanite. Oh, you mean like the fucker who called me a mudblood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
boy. Oh boy. Okay.
Remember,
I actually learned something interesting about Arcanites.
How so?
Apparently the alchemist had some hand in their creation.
what?
Ain't that so?
I didn't get all the details, but that's just what I read in the report.
I thought they were just people in armor.
I'm curious to see if our Arknight friend is here.
You would highly doubt they would be here. They are specifically Wallenstein, located. They wouldn't travel to some port town just to fuck around.
I'm gonna send Virgil out to do some scouting.
Okay. As the spectral hawk reappear and come upon your arm.
I want you to keep an eye out for this lady. Helen Strauss-Lani, if you hear anything, if you see any transactions, let me know, okay? Throw them out.
Alright. As goes out into the air, I will determine whether or not they will be able to find something that's specific, but we'll see in due time.
So, where do we go from here?
So, as Haley approaches, I think the first thing we should do is find a bar.
I'm sorry?
A bar?
Well, isn't that the story that everyone always talks about? You head to the bar, you figure out some information, bartender talks a lot.
Okay.
Haley, when's the last time you left the library, honey?
Never.
Alright, let's go to the bar then. We need to get you some fucking...
Lemurian-born adamantine
We need to
raised.
get you some fucking ale, honey.
We're not drinking on the job, Dante.
Just for Haley.
Yeah. You can see as she's pulling out a notebook and writing something down.
Remember, she's observing us?
Yes, but, she's never had she hasn't left the library. Maybe she needs a drink. Out in the ambiance of everything. Maybe a class
Let's not be a poor influence.
Alright, better idea. A glass of wine.
That's not better.
Really isn't.
I mean, girls like wine,
Water.
right?
They do. I'm not much of a
Okay,
drinker.
Wait.
alright then. Bar it
Wait.
is.
Wait. What? Why are you being hyped around this person?
No reason. At all.
Citra squints a little bit directly at you.
Bra just lowers his glasses.
Oh, the glasses move.
Mhm.
Behind the glasses are another pair of glasses.
Yeah, but
No reason.
All
Just, she hasn't had these kind of experiences yet, as far as I'm aware. All right, we'll go to a bar. We'll just go to a bar. We don't have to drink. We could just talk about the mission and what things we need to do, yeah?
I mean, drinking's not everything. I don't think I've
Maybe
ever drank
in
anything in
hush-
my life.
Maybe in hushed tones. Not sure we want people overhearing this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the way those fuckers look.
Maybe not say that out loud.
Yeah, definitely not gonna do that.
Oh.
Alright, let's try and find something probably... moderately popular, I would assume.
Yeah, moderately popular.
As...
Local watering hole.
And I need all of you to make an
Oops.
investigation
Well,
check.
I'm gonna find the place. I
Investigation.
know it. Our looter lady, please help us.
Hey! I actually got
Okay.
something other than like a 2 or a 3.
14.
12 for me.
14?
14.
Here I go. Natural 1.
Oh my god!
Damn, that sucks.
So, with the assistance of Dante and Citra, as you guys managing to kind of silently hear about the local places that are around here, There is one place that comes off as probably the best place for what might be local sailors and those of particular trade craft, as it heads a little bit more to the west of the city. It is known as the Seaside Seaweed.
Seaside
seaweed.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. Seaside Seaweed.
Tongue twister.
Yeah. As you guys enter, this place is dead. Oof. There is nobody here. It's this very simple building, kind of almost like a U shape to its design. You can see the open windows that kind of come across the entirety of this, not really shack, but definitely it's not a popular place to be in. But it also has its charm. You can tell that there are people that will come here, but they're not here
Too
now.
early in the day.
Yeah, I figured that.
As you probably acknowledge that it is still in the middle of the day, and this is more of a night escapade. As in a few moments out from the back door on the other end of the bar, you hear as it opens, "I'll be just right out. Just get ready for the day, okay?" And sees all of you. It is this very burly looking man. Definitely got that pot belly, but the biceps go on for fucking
Extra thick.
miles.
Got it.
Very, very large beard, slicked back black hair, and these beautiful amber eyes under it all. He's got what looks like to be the bartender schmuck and weathered pants and decent boots, and the hands look like they've been beaten to hell. There are scarring up the arms for seemingly what looks like to have just been damage from years and years of work or combat. It's not usual that we get some afternoon recipients. He kind of moves over a bit and shifts off to the side. What'll it be?
See,
Let's start us off with some meals. Why not? You serve food in this establishment?
Yeah, got some of the usual Quartermain catches. Pulls out what looks like to be a small menu that can consist of silver to golds, a seafood platter is probably the biggest meal there, with it being somewhere around
Citra
a gold
kind of
piece.
nudges Leo about that. Like, we don't have money.
Right. Forgot about that.
It's
Wait.
Haley leans in. But I do. I'll get us the seafood platter. For all of us, please.
Citra just has this most, thankful look on her face.
Haley, you're so kind.
Listen, right now, all we should really be doing is questioning the bartender and seeing what he possibly may know.
How do we
Smart
go-
idea, smart idea.
How do we go about that without seeming weird?
That's a good question.
Well, take a look around. What do you see that could possibly be of interest to this person? There's no customers during the afternoon, and he obviously has somebody in the back room that he cares about. Ask personal questions, come on.
Is this place decorated with any coats of arms or flags? Iconography of any kind?
Okay.
Or just decorations at all?
Okay.
From your general perception...
Okay.
Okay.
Bro.
Well, first,
Okay.
Leodon
No, I'm sorry,
first.
my
because
bad.
Yeah. Leodon, with your passive perception being 17.
It's a 19 now, actually.
Ooh! Damn!
With your passive perception being 19, there isn't anything in this room that you don't immediately miss. There are the obvious nauticals of it being a port town here, and the tchotchkes on the walls, what look like to be particular hand drawings, and there is one flag in particular that does catch your eye. It is looks like to be a symbol of a party from way back in the day before the Rough Rock Raiders came along and started doing their job around here. And there's even some semblance of that pretty well-known party, the Rough Rocks. But this symbol in particular has what looks like to be the crossing of a sword and the crossing of a cane and a unionized diamond in the center. As it's very present. And on this wall there are, the symbol of the Rough Rock Riders, and then also what looks like to be several different other parties. This used to be the place where probably notable adventuring parties used to stop by here and have a meal, have their ale, have their everything here. As far as you know, he probably used to be one of these people. As you hear, as the last of the kitchens and plating finish up, you see the door that he initially came out of just open and close. As you hear the small, and out of the corner of the bar, you see a small child. What looks like to be somewhere in the age range of 8. But her skin is blotchy, with blotches of red that seemingly grow in several different places, as well as 2 jaunting horns that come out and forward, and they begin to point up.
Oh, hello.
They see all these strange, mysterious figures in what seemingly is this bar that is managed by this man. As he comes out from the kitchen. Oh, darling. Goodness. 1 second, all of you.
Of course.
She's fine.
He manages to put all your plates down and slides. He comes down and over. Alright, are you all ready? Alright. Go directly to your friends, and then, before sunset, I want to see you back here. Don't cause no trouble. And you can see as she shakes her head and she kind of just slightly avoids eye contact with all of you before leaving out.
Is she a tiefling?
Okay. Alright, so 1 big seafood platter for the rest of you.
Yes. It smells great.
Yes, the general catch was salmon. We've got also a small shipment of shrimp, and as well as a couple of lobsters here and two, and as well as a bowl of steamed mussels, and plenty of garlic butter for your particular palates.
Thank you.
I imagine.
Thank you.
I've not had seafood in so long.
Citra just...
Well, if there's anything of particular you would like to drink, I'm more than happy to provide as well.
just water, if that's okay.
Right. He comes out from under the bar, grabbing a large pitcher of water. So, where are you all from?
Well, I just travel all around. Scoop these folks up on my travels. I'm actually from a tribe of nomads.
Yeah, I'm not even from this area. I'm from Excelsium.
Really? Strange, but I've heard about some of the tales there, especially for you kind.
We're working on that.
Glad they're making that progress.
Who was the little one just now?
And what are you, lady? As he points towards Haley. Oh, me. Funny story. I'm actually from Alernon. I'm one of the scholars deep within the Aurario Septifuge, but no need to worry about all that. I'm just here with a bunch of friends, looking forward to hearing some old tales and doing a bit of adventuring and information collecting as well.
Yes, I can tell you're no stranger to adventuring parties coming in.
Oh, no. Well, this used to be the bar that the Rough Rock Riders used to come by before they headed themselves off up to Hollengrad to do, I assume, bigger and better things. Oh, it's been a bit thin in business as of late, but no, it's nothing in particular.
What do we know about the Rough Rock Riders?
Make a history
Oh boy,
check.
here we go.
You got this.
That is a 7.
Never mind.
Alright, I'm gonna wait. I think I got a 10.
Some group of nobodies, I'm sure.
They were a pretty well-known adventuring party, known for taking out some pretty big takes in their day. Apparently, as the story goes, they wanted to do bigger and greater hunts. They were an odd little group. A strange elf girl, a very burly dwarven man. Apparently, one of them was just a fucking cat, and then also just this big Earth Genasi man, big barbarian.
Sorry.
But that's as far as information goes.
It's just whispers of Santa in the distance. Sorry.
I tied it all in, baby.
Sorry, I can't. I'm imagining this really beautiful portrait and then just this angry looking ass cat.
Yeah, just apparently a fucking cat.
Sorry.
Is that your is that the iconography of them? I don't recognize that flag.
Oh, yeah, they left it behind as a keepsake for me. They were probably going to get it redone once they finally got to Hollengrad. It's been rough around here for quite some time.
Oh, really? How so?
I don't think you know of this place relatively well, I'm
Not
assuming,
really.
so... I mean, I'm more than happy to tell you.
I'd like to get the lay of the land.
Yeah. Well, it's been more hard on me than it has been on the city, but the city has its own problems. See, about a few years back when the first Arc-Knight had died here, his replacement, very different. And while our mayor, very, very keen eye and a bit of a strange one, was trying to keep the peace for a lot of reasons. But, you know, if the Crest Guard has to report to anyone, it's the Arc-Knight. And after a while, the Arc-Knight started acting real different. Real strange, and started showing their true colors.
True colors?
And with that alone, crest guards began to silence dissonance at every corner because the war that's going on between us, as well as those within the Thalia Cliffs, anyone that was considered so much as a sympathizer for the Thalians, well, might as well just be thrown into the brig and not seen again for quite some time. And anybody that is seen again often comes back real fucking limpy.
What was this Arcanist's name?
His name. What was his name?
What's his name?
I have his name. I do have him in my notes. I'm trying
You
to
got
find
this.
which one it was.
Is it the one that I'm already known of? Alright,
No.
well I can get some information from the one that I do know.
His name was Tavash Helbring. Or Tavash Helming. And bit of a fucking nub, that one is.
Oh, he's not the one who died.
I liked his,
He's the one who's in charge right now.
Yes. You know, these newer generation Arknights are really something else, honestly. It's definitely not easier on me because of everything going on. I obviously have a daughter who's dealing with a lot on her own.
Is she gonna be okay off on her own like that? No, she's asking
I'm sorry?
if the little girl's gonna be fine running around off on her own like that.
She should be fine. Yeah. Her friends are not too
Okay.
far and few in between for, well, someone slowly beginning to farm into what they truly are.
What they truly are?
If you may have noticed, my daughter's a tiefling. She's a realm touched, but it's truly her mother that really is truly my ruby in this grand sea of people. She ended up passing away some time ago and had a lot of problems with both the Thorum scholars and as well as a few
I'm so
Arknights.
sorry.
But we retired from the adventure in life when she started coming around and she's starting to look like her mother every single day.
Right, sorry to hear that.
It was a lot more concerning when she was sick and a lady came by to help out.
Lady? What lady?
Yeah. Halfling woman. My daughter had Arcana Sickness. It's a syndrome in which when your body can't take in the magic too well, and so it starts affecting the immune
Does
system.
Citra know what that is?
At least that's... It's actually something that your parents had discussed. Something that they were relatively concerned. Arcanist Sickness is a specifically sorcerer thing. And what it does is that your body is so overwhelmed with the level of magic that you have in raw form, especially as a young individual, that it breaks down the immune system in a way that can impose dangerous
Was it
levels of
talked
sickness.
about, or did she go through that?
You had probably one bout of Arcanist Sickness in your youth before
So
clearing over it. It's not exactly too deadly, especially if you're a relatively strong-willed individual who is also well taken care of. But in an environment like this, it can be a bit
So
hard.
I guess upon hearing that, like, she'd have this look of understanding and just like, oh, yeah, that's pretty nasty.
Anyways, this lady heard me talking to the mayor some time ago about everything going on and wife passing away. Not exactly sure how to deal with this. I'm not a magic man myself, so she offered to help. Said if she managed to get a look at it, draw some blood, figure out the levels of magic, and probably develop a draft. A couple of months later, she came back. A couple of vials, said that, take the medicine, and then eventually dilute it by the time she'll get over it. And she's still not exactly over sickness, and this is probably one of her first few days out. So
I see.
definitely need that medicine while it's here.
Who was the woman who made the medicine?
Ah, fuck. So halfling lady, Helen. Helen was her name.
Wait. Do you happen to know where we can find Helen?
Not a fucking clue. I'm pretty sure the mayor probably knows a few things here and there, but as far as I'm aware, I don't ask no questions, and no questions shall be asked.
Yeah, I need to get some medicine for this pain in my ass, so...
Fair enough. As you can see, as he finally looks out towards the window, you guys hear the back door, or the front door, swing wide open. You hear the heavy footfalls of metal.
Oh man, teacher just tenses for a second. They're like, oh boy. Whew, calm.
Dante's gonna, sink as much as he can into his, cloak.
As you can hear the footfalls, you also hear a strange voice echo throughout the room. A familiar voice to one of you.
One?
Baltroy Weldon. Finally, a pleasure to meet you. I am interested in talking to you about your daughter. And Leodon, it is the familiar voice. A man that had greatly betrayed you. One that had gotten you into the dunes of penance before. As all of you turn to see a very youthful looking man with these very bright, colorful eyes, very human design. He looks like he's just barely in his 20s. You know this, man. Very, very well. Leodon?
Yeah. I don't turn around. I recognize his voice.
Well, Citra does.
I am going to...
You don't know this person, Citra.
But it's in person and mentioned the child and immediately oh no. No.
I'm going to pull my messenger cap down over my face briefly, and then when I lift it back up, I am an elf.
As the approaching figure steps to this man, Baron William Mole. A pleasure to finally meet you. He claps the hands into this very outstaturing man. And you can see there is a very vicious anger between these eyes from Boltroy. This entire room is silent, almost as if you can hear a pin drop in it. And you guys notice that Leodon has changed his face. But that is where we're going to go.
Oh boy.
Tonight's episode.
Alright.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Time to get in Leo's backstory.
Time to go protect
we
a
go.
child. Whew.
Oh.
We meet again.
I've been waiting for
fucker.
this day. I've been waiting for this
Does
day,
he
man.
have a punchable face?
No, actually. He's a very
I
handsome
didn't ask if he
young
was handsome.
man.
Does he have the face that someone you want to punch?
I'll leave that up to your determination.
The young Baron.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump on into some quick announcements, and then we're heading off.
Buddy.
Woo. Yeah, sorry, I went a little over time today, but I do
It's fine.
apologize, but I wanted to get to this part specifically. So, as I said, we're gonna go ahead do some relatively quick announcements, and then we're heading off. So for me, I don't have any other real announcements out of the usual. I've done some work with Daito, who will be talking about it later. I haven't done really any major voice projects. I don't have anything that I haven't already announced beforehand. So if you guys are interested in just kind of keeping up to date, follow me on Twitter. Or if you're wanting to keep up to date with this show, then follow us on Twitter. But yeah, I don't think I have any announcements this week. I'm running thin. That's it. I talked up my clock. Blue,
Doing
how you
well,
now?
doing well. Just eyeballing the big move, honestly. There's not much going on my end, unfortunately, just moving. So, sorry, no big announcements here.
Yeah, fair enough. Connor.
Hi, I am Distortion Devil. People call me Connor. They can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and youtube.com/Distortion Devil. I stream Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 p.m. U.S. Central Standard Time. Be sure to check out my DM's Guild, where I release 5th edition homebrew content, including the College of Distortion Bard, which is a power metal themed Bard subclass.
Yes.
I said it last week, and I'll say it again. You can hear me as Captain Adrian Bakunin in Ghost Runner
Yeah.
Project Hell. Pretty fun voice role that I can announce now. Also, just as a manner of speaking, by the time this comes out, the Unexpectables, my 5-year-long D&D campaign, will be over.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
5 years?
5 years.
5 years.
God
Big
damn.
one. Yeah, 5 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been dreading and exciting it for the past week now, and it's just, it's gonna be a big
Gonna be a big hullabaloo.
I'm not gonna have anything to do on Wednesdays.
Oh no.
I'll keep you busy.
We'll keep you busy.
If you want to join me, for some Final Fantasy fun.
Oh yeah, I am open for that now, aren't I?
Yeah.
Wednesday Final Fantasy session.
I need help
So cool.
with Shadowbringers.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And also, you could join. You could also join Blue, who might
Oh, I don't
Find
have
time
Shadowbringers though.
this week. Maybe. That is true. We'll get you that. Don't worry.
Indeed.
Oh,
I wouldn't leave you hanging with just Heaven's Word.
I don't know if that was a happy thing or a threat.
All
I'm
right.
kidding.
You're playing strong. All right. Next up
All right, so
is
it's
Jade.
very exciting news. I can finally talk about it now. My artwork is the official cover of an EDM song.
Ooh, nice. Nice. Congrats.
So anybody who has a Spotify, you can pre-save the song. It's coming out April 1st, and it's called Hotwire by Kid Bass.
Ooh.
And the image that comes up for that pre-save for that album art is my art.
Yeah.
Nice.
So proud of you.
Congrats.
Yeah, I can't wait. I've already seen it, but like,
You're excited to see it like
You guys are
officially
gonna-
like released and all that stuff.
yeah, I cannot wait to see it. Well, it will be a couple weeks from now, so
Nice.
Yeah, not much of a wait at all.
A
For
long
by the
way
time
to
this
go.
episode drops, it will only be a week out from when this drops. And also, I have 5 slots for sketch commissions. The examples will be up on Twitter.
hell yeah.
Oh, we're also
So
collabing.
I'll let you know if those spots get taken. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this week. But I was really excited to drop that for you guys.
That's really cool. I look forward to it.
All right, can't wait. Yeah, I cannot wait to see it. And last but not least, my good friend Daito.
Hey, so there's Daito Modachi, who plays Brawl, the half-orc samurai. So I released an episode of the Oh My Dio OVA in which Dio fights Mickey Mouse. It should be is up on my main channel. Yaro actually did the sound editing for that. He did a great job for it. Thank you again. Again.
I was also Giorno.
Yep. And you got pistol whipped by Donald Duck.
Fuck, that's right.
Jesus.
All these words.
These are sentences.
You can
These
say.
are sentences.
Yep.
All these words we can say. Imagination takes us everywhere.
Yep, and
All
this
right.
week I am dropping the final trailer for my Gohanverse thing. If you're a Toonami faithful, then you're definitely going to want to watch that. Anyway,
Nice.
that's it for me.
Awesome.
Woo!
Alrighty. So, nothing else pressing?
Nope.
Nope.
Alright. So, as usual, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We love you so very much. And as always,
Bye.
see you next Sunday.
All right.
Have a good night, everyone.
Night.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.